What is going on, people? Got a weird phone call today. Weird phone call. As you guys can see by the title, didn't know I was part of anyone's success, Um, there's a trucker that is out in Arizona, and he started here in Southern California, and he was doing rail work at the time, and he's working for a company down here in Southern California titled CIA, and he was doing rail and I was doing rail, and one day I seen him at a truck stop. He was pumping fuel, and so was I. So, of course, he was pulling a 53 container, so was I, and we just started chopping it up, and I asked him, "Is that your truck?" And at the time, he said, "Yeah, that's my truck." And I started telling him, there's a few things on that truck that you need to swap out. If not, you're gonna break down. And he asked me, what are them things, So I started pointing them out, and so I asked him, where do you park? And he tells me at his company's yard, free of charge. Like, yeah. Anyways, I ended up finding out that all he was doing was renting the truck, and he was paying for half of the fuel that he was pumping into that truck. So, Turbo Man, can you give me the website for all that chrome inside your truck? It looks great. Thanks a lot, Turbo Man. Yeah, I'll shoot it. It's in Fontana, bro. It's on Cherry and Valley. You go east on Valley, can't miss it. It's on the left-hand side. It's right there. So, anyways, um, I ended up finding out that he was paying for all this, and I asked him, "Wait a minute, are you leasing this truck out?" And for his understanding is he was. So I asked him, "So can you take the truck home?" He said, "No." Jerry Perry, what's going on, bro? Thanks for being in the neighborhood. He said no, he couldn't take the truck home. So I said, "Well, I hate to tell you, bro, but it's not your truck." And so I started explaining to him the lease that I was in. The Icon, what's going on, bro? Thanks for being in the neighborhood. And he was like, "What?" And I told him, "You know what, bro? You're not in a lease program. They're not leasing that truck out to you." Anyways, we stood in touch. Mm. After that, we kind of just seen each other coming in and out of the rail stations. And, we wave at each other, we call each other, and, BS on the phone, what have you. Well, after the 30 days, he started telling me all the stuff that he was going through over there at CIA. And, I kept telling him, bounce, man, leave that damn company. And he just, he was one of them guys that just, he didn't want to move. He knew he was at the wrong place, but he just wanted to stick it out. For whatever reason, I don't know, but that was just him. Well, when he called me today, and I still stay in touch with him, I still call him, every 2 weeks, because again, he lives in Arizona now, and we still stay in touch, but today, he asked me, "Hey, Victor, do you remember how long it took you?" Because before I get to that, let me get to what happened. So as time goes by, he's telling me what his checks look like, and they weren't looking good. I mean, his last paycheck was for $180. He worked the whole week, and I think each day he put from 9 to 10 hours a day, and he got $150. And I think that put the icing on the cake for him, and he was good to go. So I ended up recruiting him over to where I was leased on to, Contract Logistics, and there he leased his truck. He was able to take his truck home. He was doing a payment on the truck. He wasn't paying half for the fuel. He was paying for the whole fuel, and the truck was under the finance company's name and his name. Which on that CIA truck, it was only CIA on the registration of that truck. So he was never gonna own that truck. So, anyways, by him coming over, he started learning the business more and more. Even though his whole family, from his nephews to his uncles to his brothers, they're all into the trucking industry. As a matter of fact, one of his cousins has a big pork company down here in Southern California. It's huge. It's huge. But I guess he didn't know the difference at the time. Hmm. Well, when was it? 2 years ago. 2 years. Yeah, about 2 years ago. Um, he was living here in Southern California, and he was talking about buying a house. So he called me up one time. Justin the Port Trucker, what's going on, bro? Thanks for being in the neighborhood. He called me up and he told me, "Hey, Victor, I want to buy a property. What do you think is a good place to buy? How do I go about it?" So, I just gave him little pointers, and he would call me, and he was stuck on buying a home for, I say, like 8 months. He was just stuck on it, he was stuck on it. And, I just kept telling him, you got to work on your credit. But I wasn't thinking about, what I was saying to him. I was just giving him advice, advice that I wasn't given at the time. 2005, what's going on? Thanks for being in the neighborhood. Hazel. Um, so uh, when he came at me and said, "You know what, Victor, I plan on buying a home in Arizona," I was all for it. I was, damn, that's good. Heck yeah, do your thing, do your thing. And he was like, "But how am I gonna do it for work?" So I kind of helped him expand his mind, expand his worries, and kind of helped him out through that journey to buy the home. And Turbo Man, yeah, I can do that, bro. I can do that. It could be two things. It could be either the motor's going out, it's behind your glove compartment, well, under your glove compartment. It can be that, or it can be the little filter, the little black filter, the little canister that's right next to the radiator. It could be either or, but most likely it's gonna be the motor, bro. If it's only blowing in your legs. Uh, the Icon 2020. Thanks for being in the neighborhood, bro. So, anyways, me not knowing what I'm doing for this guy, all I'm doing is just being there for him. I'm being his ear. he's letting all his frustration out on me, and I'm just trying to give him views of how to buy a house, and just try to stop him from stressing so much. So he ends up buying a home, and in Arizona. And I'm not gonna lie, there was a gang of times where, I clowned him and told him you're freaking nuts. There's plenty of properties down here in Southern California. What are you doing going over there to AZ? But at the end of the day, I was just behind him 100%. Him and his family. So they end up going to Arizona. They end up buying a property over there, and then I say like 7, 8 months ago, he he went and financed a truck, Kenworth truck from I don't know what state he bought it from. And again, he was like, "Hey, Victor, what do you think about this? What do you think about that?" Again, me not thinking. I'm just thinking about, this is what you should do. This is what you should do. That's it. I'm not thinking about what I'm saying to this guy. And so he ends up buying the truck. Uh, then he's into flatbed. He ends up buying the flatbed. The flatbed, I had nothing to do with it. And again, like I said, I've been speaking to this dude. We talk to each other every, maybe 2 weeks, every 3 weeks. And he calls me today, and he tells me, "You know what? Before you open your mouth, Vic, just let me say what I gotta say." And you know, he tells me, "You were a big part of my success." And I was like, "What the hell is this dude talking about?" He goes, "Even though you talk a whole bunch of smack, you don't know how much you helped me out." I'm like, "What are you talking about? What I help you out on?" And then he started telling me all these things. And like I said, to me, it was just like, you're asking me a question. I'm just answering the question. I did not think at the time that I was helping him uh, get out of this raggedy ass company, which was, I mean, they were taking him. They were taking him for every penny. That's why they're in a lawsuit right now. Hopefully, all them drivers, they tax the what out of these people, because they worked them like a Hebrew slave over there. All them dudes. They're still doing it, but them dudes, they don't want to move. So, anyways, he's thanking me for helping him on his little journey of what he did. Mm. And then he asked me, "Victor, do you remember how long it took me? How long it took you to convince me to leave CIA and go where you were at?" I was thinking it was 2 months. And he goes, "I know the exact date I finally left, and I know exactly the date that you started telling me to leave that company, and the exact date when I finally left the company." And he told me it took you 6 months to convince me to leave that company. I'm like, whoa, I didn't think it was that long. But it is true. Every time we spoke, I would tell him, "Bounce, man, leave that damn company alone. Can you help me how to Can you tell me how to flush out the cooling system? Add some cooling additive now. It throws a check engine code. I add some cooling additive now. Throws a check engine code. Can you tell me how to flush out the cooling system?" Flushing out the cooling system. Uh, there's a drain plug on the bottom of your radiator. Uh, Turbo Man, you do have a Freightliner, right? You did say you had a Freightliner, right? Hold on, fellas. I'll get back to this. Uh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. There's a drain plug on the right in the middle of your radiator. There's a drain plug on the bottom. It's gonna be a plastic one. Go ahead and unscrew that. That's the way you flush the cooling out. But what you have to do is you got to be near a water hose. Once you flush all that out, you close the drain plug, open up the coolant reservoir, put the water hose in there, fill it up. As soon as it's filled, take the water hose out, close the coolant reservoir, turn the truck on for about say 30 seconds, 40 seconds, turn it back off, and do the process again. Open up the drain plug, let all that drain out, close it, open up the coolant reservoir, put a water hose in there, fill it up. Once it's topped off, take the water hose off, close the reservoir, turn on the truck again for 30, 40 seconds. Do that process until the water that's coming out of the bottom of the radiator comes out nice and clear. It looks like straight water. Once that looks like straight water, you have flushed out your system. And then you can start adding your coolant. I don't understand. Why did you add? I added some coolant additive. What did you add that for? I don't understand. You shouldn't have put any kind of additive. You should have just put coolant or water. Uh, if you have a check engine light, go to your info. Uh, press your info, and then on your dashboard it should say set up dyno. When you get to dyno, stop there, push my info, and see what kind of code it gives you. But I don't think it should give you a code if you just added something to the coolant reservoir. Oh, wait a minute. I'm not speaking to Turbo Man. I'm speaking to Azo. Azo 242005. I apologize, Turbo Man. Anyways, so thanks a lot, Turbo Man. Yeah, Azo, just do that. Just do that. Do that kind of flushing. You'll be all right. But I still don't know why you put some kind of coolant additive in that reservoir. But anyways, so um, he tells me, yeah, it took you 6 months to finally convince me to leave this company. And if I would have never left that company, I would have probably still been stuck over there at CIA doing nothing. Because the majority of the people that he ran with, the truckers that he ran with, are still stuck at that company, and they have not prospered whatsoever. They're still thinking that that truck is theirs. They're still paying rent on that truck. Uh, they're still paying half of the fuel that they pump into that truck, and the rates are, you can barely stay alive with them rates. Uh, them rates are just enough to rent an apartment in the city of LA. That's how bad it is in that company. But the company's pretty big. You know, people don't know how to see something bad and walk away from it. You know, they want to stick it out thinking it's going to get better or whatever. They're just I laugh out loud. That's worse than Swift. Yeah, it is. It is, Jerry. It's way worse, bro. I know a few people over there at CIA at that company that, I mean, I could tell them a million times and they're still not gonna leave. This guy, you know, I didn't think it took me 6 months to convince him to finally leave, but I guess it did. I guess it did. I didn't know it was 6 months. I thought it was 2 months. But yeah, he called me up and I told him, I asked him, hey, are you drunk or something? What's wrong with you? Because he was thanking me, and I was like, this is not this guy. Who's this? Where'd this dude come from? Hey, so the dealer advised me to do it. I shouldn't do it, bro. The dealer advised. No. Who's the dealer? The dealer ain't no mechanic. No, don't ever listen to the dealers. Dealers ain't mechanic. Dealers just sell you trucks. That's it. No. Uh, Putting some kind of additive to your coolant. Why? For what? What's Jerry? Do you know anything about coolant additive? Because why would you do that to your coolant? I don't understand. Oh, stop leaks. Big Paul, thanks for being in the neighborhood. Uh, yeah. Okay, that makes sense, Big Paul, but uh, flush. Yeah, I mean, yeah, but that sent out a check engine light, so it makes no sense. Yeah, is your coolant? Is your Are you leaking coolant? Is that why they told you to put that additive? Is that is that why? Are you leaking coolant? Because if you're not leaking anything, you shouldn't. Yeah, you shouldn't put no additive if you're not leaking coolant. Uh, the flush, yeah, yeah, whatever it is that you added onto it, yeah, just flush it, just flush it. I would. Uh, what it could also do is it can dirty up that sensor on your reservoir, and that reservoir can stop your truck. So, kid, we used to sell now before four wheelers a flush. Where you at it? Run 15 minutes, then drain. It was a scam. Yeah, Jerry, they might have scammed this person as well. Azo, yeah, just flush that thing. But again, go to my info on your dashboard and see what kind of code it gives you on your dashboard, right behind your steering wheel, where it gives you your miles. Uh, See if that little board right there will give you some kind of info, what kind of check engine light that is, and then take it from there. Google it. Google it. If you're in the truck, do it now, and maybe Big Paul, Jerry, or myself, or Turbo Man, somebody can tell you what that check engine light code is. Uh, but yeah, anyways, so old boy's telling me, thanks a lot, Victor. You helped me out a lot, and if it wasn't for you talking me out of getting out of that company CIA, mm, I would have still been stuck over there. But again, I did not think anything of it while all this was happening. And we've been talking. I never thought this trucker felt like this. Because I wasn't thinking about helping him. I was just thinking about answering his questions. Uh, Again, my thing is, you ask me a question. If I know it, I'm gonna answer it. If I don't know it, Turbo Man, only cooling additive I would add to my Freightliner Cascadia is Mr. Victor. He's the only thing. uh, what was I saying? Uh, Anyways, I just thought this trucker was drunk or something, and I just didn't know that he felt like this, him and his wife. And, like I said, if you ask me a question and I don't know it, I'm flat, I'll tell you, I don't know it. Uh, Not going to do no research on it. If anything, if I'm doing a live video and somebody's on board, we're all going to try to pitch in and give our input. Other than that, that's all I'm going to do. If I know it, I'm going to tell you. If I don't know it, I'm going to straight out tell you. Don't know it. Don't know what the hell you're talking about. Sorry, can't help you. But thank God everything that he asked me, uh, I had experienced already. So I was able to give him feedback that I've been through, So uh, it worked out pretty good for him. Like I said, he bought his home in Arizona. He bought a Kenworth. Uh, that lease truck that he was leasing out with Contract Logistics, he ended up leaving it because that company got into a big old lawsuit and they closed shop down here in Southern California. And he left the truck. He left the truck. He didn't want no part of that company. And he ended up going to get himself another truck. And now he's doing flatbeds. Now he's trying to talk me into doing flatbeds, but I ain't doing no damn flatbeds. I don't care how much they say they pay you. I've heard about them flatbed drivers. Uh-uh. I am cool. I'm alright. They can keep that flatbed crap. I don't do that stuff. So it was it was it was an interesting conversation that I had with this truck driver. It was cool, but again, it them were not my intentions. My intentions were just help somebody out and answer their little problem as best as I could. I wasn't trying to solve a problem. I wasn't trying to uh, stretch the truth out because when you stretch the truth out, it really doesn't help, especially when you're trying to do something serious, like when you're trying to buy a property. It doesn't really help if you stretch the truth out or you kind of sugarcoat things. It doesn't help. It doesn't help. Uh, it helps if you're straightforward because even though you're not investing in this property, that person is serious about investing in this property. And they're looking to you for good, solid advice. They're not looking for sugar coated advice. They want to know the truth. Uh, how much am I going to have to have in the bank when everything is said and done? Uh, how much are they going to ask for down as a first time buyer? Uh, you want to be a bull hauler. uh, how many? When do I have to pay my first payment? My first mortgage payment. Stuff like that. And I wasn't sugarcoating anything. I was just answering everything as I was doing it. What kind of truck should I get? What kind of engine should I get? Stuff like that. I wasn't sugarcoating anything. I wasn't stretching the truth about anything. I was just trying to tell him exactly what I was going through or what I had went through. And it's he's the type of dude that he's real leery, so he'll ask a million people before he does what he says he's gonna do. And I guess he took my advice on most of the stuff because he ended up calling me today and thanking me for helping him out on doing what he's doing right now and having what he has. And again, that's I'm not trying to pat myself in the back for that. I'm just I'm trying to tell you guys that trying to sugarcoat things when people are really trying to get something going, it's not good. It's not good. Uh, trying to stretch the truth out again, that's not good. That is not good. Uh, if your information is solid and somebody else can repeat exactly what you're saying, people are gonna come back to you for advice, and people are gonna look up for you to give them good advice. And that's the type of person I want to be. I want to be that uh, go-to guy. If I don't have the answer, I'm gonna tell you I don't have it. Don't know. Like when people always ask me about flatbed, never done flatbed. I don't know anything about flatbed. You know, so it was a trip. Thanks for all the advice, bro. I will show that. All right. Yeah, I hope that helps you out, Hazel. Um, Jerry and Big Paul said, maybe that's for leaks, but if your stuff is not leaking, you shouldn't add it on there. Uh, and for now on, don't listen to the dealer because the dealer doesn't know about trucks. Uh, they might know just a little bit, but they don't know anything about trucks. Let the mechanics do their job and get advice from mechanics. Don't get advice from dealers. So yeah, that's what's going on in my life today. Uh, Interesting, uh, kind of crazy, but didn't know I helped him out, him and his family. Uh, it was a good thing to know that they see me this way, but again, I didn't. My intentions weren't there to help anybody out or to mislead anybody. You know that them were not my intentions. My intentions were just to tell them exactly what I was going through at the time and how to go about it, or should I say how I went about it. So it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. Well, people, I know you guys are waiting for some fix it yourself videos. Uh, they might come next week. I know I said on yesterday's video that it would be coming, but uh, don't know yet. So don't quote me on it. So we'll see. We'll see if I can get something done on that truck because I need a couple of things done on the truck, and I want to videotape it. Big Paul. You ever tell a guy his girl was wrong, but he still sticks around? Oh man. As a matter of fact, Big Paul, I told one of my brothers. I told one of my brothers for years, and this dude is still there, bro. But yeah, Jerry, time to bring you to Peterbilt to make some Peterbilt videos. Laugh out loud. How often do you work on your truck? Core Diesel. This truck that I'm driving right now. I had a few drivers in it, and they beat it up pretty bad, and I used to tell my drivers, whatever's wrong with the truck, you need to tell me about it ASAP, so I can get to it. Well, no one ever told me, so I ended up letting that truck go, and I finally got it back. Well, I finally got into it last year. Last year, yeah, I think it was last year, and found out all these things are wrong with it, so right now I'm trying to bring it up to par, it was real bad. It was real bad when I got it back because I was driving another truck, and I wasn't really concentrating on this truck because nobody was complaining about this truck, So it was my fault. I let it go, but I mean the major parts are done, you know. Right now I need to replace the coolant reservoir, which when I do that I will make a video on how to flush your cooling system. Uh, and then I need the spring leaves in the front, or leaf springs, however you want to call it, because I got the 1.5s and I want to put the double ones for more support in the front. The icon. Uh, yeah, 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 yeah. That is true. So, anyways, I need that, and I might need some brakes, some brake pads. I'll probably do a video on that too. Uh, but other than that, I think I've done everything on that truck that I can think of. Uh, the turbo just went out on it. We replaced the turbo and the actuator. That cost a pretty penny, and we're hoping that by the end of this year, I'll be able to get out of that truck and get something else. Right now, I got I'm trying to invest on a property, so uh, I'm trying to I'm trying to push right now to make the money for that property. So, but hopefully next I drive a 2014 Freeliner Cascadia and hear your whistle. Could that be the turbo? Uh, it's not the turbo itself. It might be one of the cooling hoses, or it could be your exhaust pipe. Uh, where it's called the bellow. It's on the bottom of uh, the exhaust pipe goes under your truck, and then it goes on the passenger side. On the passenger side, and there's it's like a flexi looking thing that's called the bellow. It might have a hole. You might want to check that, or it could be the exhaust itself because the Freightliners, especially the 2014s, where the elbow is of the exhaust pipe, it tends to crack on the sides right there. So you might have a cracked exhaust pipe. But first, check the exhaust pipe before you go into the turbo. Check the whole exhaust pipe from the top all the way to the bottom and into the truck because it might be the bellow. The bellow costs is I think $300 or $400. Again, not hard to put on. It's real easy. So it might be either or. But the turbo should be the last thing that you should look at. First, look at that exhaust, and then go check the little hoses that are plugged into the turbo. Them little hoses have coolant going through them, so you should be able to see some white liquid coming down. Did you find it parking, Big Paul? I apologize. I didn't. I haven't even looked. I haven't even looked. Uh, I said I was gonna go look this Friday. Uh, Top gang, what's going on, bro? Thanks for being in the neighborhood. I said I was gonna go this past Friday, but I didn't. I didn't. So I'm hoping sometime this week. I'm lying. I'm lying. It might be the following week because right now we got something going with some truckers down in LA. They're moving a warehouse over to it's either Redlands or Rialto. I mentioned it yesterday on the video, and then I think we should be done with that within 3 to 4 days. And then Friday I'm gonna go into the port. So it might be the following week, Big Paul, that I go look for a parking spot. But I do need a parking spot. Serious, I do need one. Check Craigslist RV parking. Yeah, I know, Big Paul. They let you park the tractor, but they don't have tractor and trailer. That's what I'm looking for, tractor and trailer. I have tractor parking right now, bro, but I need tractor and trailer. That's my thing. Thanks, Vic. No problem. No problem. Uh, Sorry I came late on this one. So what are we talking about today? uh, yeah, you're gonna have to catch the beginning of it, Top Gang. Uh, yeah, fellas. 39 minutes, almost 40 minutes. So I'm gonna let you guys go. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. we'll see you on our next one. And thanks for all your feedback. Appreciate all you guys' feedback, and I appreciate it. Everybody, when I ask you guys a question that somebody has a problem, Jerry, Big Paul, everybody tries to, help this person out. Really appreciate everybody doing that. This is what our channels, mine's and Jerry's, and S Cargo, and Alex the Maya Show, Alex the Trucker, who else? The Soul Child, uh, who else? The Golden Child. All these guys, that's what we try to do. Try to be like a team. If you have a question, everybody try to help him out. Not just me, because sometimes I don't have the answers for it. So I appreciate all you guys participating in stuff like this, because we all need help, especially when it comes to this industry. So thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll see you on our next video. Drive safe. What's up, Lou? Before I leave, let me see who's in the neighborhood. We got Turbo Man, Jerry Perry, the Icon, Justin the Port Trucker, Azel, who else? Big Paul, the Icon, Core Diesel Power, Top Gang, Lou Flores. Don't go yet. I got to go, bro. Answer my question, please. What you got, Top Gang? What can I help you with? Or what can we help you with? Oh, I'm getting a 2007 trailer for $6,000. What you think? That's pretty good. You should, Top Gang, you should get a mechanic, before you buy it, to go do a pre-trip on it. Even though the mechanic will charge you a little bit, that should be your best bet, bro, before you buy it. Have somebody do a pre-trip on it. Inspect that trailer. But yeah, that's a good. It's from your brother. Yeah, you're good. Buy that son of a biscuit. I'm late again. It's all right. You'll catch the beginning, Lou. But yeah, you're good to go. Top Gang. Yeah, if it's from your brother, then it should be a good trailer, bro. All right, fellas. Well, I'm gonna let you guys go. We'll see you on our next video. Thanks everybody for tuning in.